Hello and welcome to Brick Babble. I'm Brick Building Babe, and this is going to be episode 2 of the Brick Babble podcast. So we're going to go through a few things that have gone on this week at Lego. We're going to talk about what I built, what's coming up, so much to talk about. So first, this week in Lego, it actually is the last 2 weeks and covering the Christmas time. I was supposed to release this and record it before Christmas, but with the holidays and everything coming up, it just didn't happen. So this is covering the last about 2.5 weeks of Lego. So there's a lot to cover. But what we're going to start with is this past quote week. So the last 2.5 weeks of Lego. What have I bought? What's been going on? So the big thing that happened is Walmart had massive Lego clearance sales going on. So I stopped at a couple different Walmarts. I already was a little late. It must have started earlier in the day before I came up, and I missed out on some sets, but that's okay. What I was able to pick up are the 332nd battle packs. I picked up a bunch of those for $10 a piece. Those I'm hoping to hold and resell at least for $20 a piece, most likely locally, but we might expand. So those are going into the quote investment category. There also were these $4 Boba Fett Starship micro sets. $4. I had picked up some earlier in the year for like $5.60 or something, which I thought was a great deal, but there happened to be this weird little room in the front of Walmart that had $4 sets. There are only 6 of them, but I picked up those as well. So that was really the biggest news. Did I buy anything else? I'm not sure I bought anything else, which is kind of crazy. We'll talk about one thing. Actually, yeah, we'll talk about this now. So this next thing, if you see my socials, you may have seen me post about it. And we're actually going to go to my Instagram to take a look at what it is. And it is a brick-built Ronald McDonald. Supposedly from the 80s is the estimate. I don't know the exact same time, but here's the video. He's, 1.5, 2 feet tall. He's got all the stickers on it. He is a little bit yellowed, not all that surprised, but this was from a store display when they gave out Lego in Happy Meals. So kind of wild, but super fun pickup. I've got nothing like this in my collection, so when I saw this for $50, I knew I had to snag it up, and I knew that it was a deal. People on my comments some love it, some think it's creepy. It's kind of creepy, but it's also kind of cool. So I took a look at other items. So this is what he was actually on. So he looks like he was hooked up to this larger cardboard display. I'm not really sure what these bricks are at the top of his head. Those don't really seem like they're supposed to be there. Doesn't quite make a lot of sense. It must just be some kind of support because you can see some here at the hand as well. But everything in this is glued and he's very sturdy. But the best part of this whole thing, I could not believe it, is the backside. I absolutely died when I picked this up. Or actually, no, I died when I saw the image. It was local on Facebook Marketplace. And when they showed the back, I said, this is a must-have for the collection because that's freaking hilarious. I'm sure that was used to, I don't even understand why he's got the booty, but he's got the booty. It is quite the booty. But he does stand up super well. So this is just someone posting on Reddit saying they got it. But if you didn't see here, they list it for $450. So it looks like these are the sets it came with. Came with this little toy car. No idea what this is. A little helicopter and a little plane. Oh, that's a boat. Like a cruise. What are those called? The ocean liners. That's what I think it is. Anyway, so very interesting to look at this. These stickers actually look a little bit better than mine, but this is primo condition. Mine's in very good condition, I'll say. All right, so that was a really fun pickup. So now we're going to go into this week's builds. So when I say this week, again, it's been the last couple weeks. I've I did finish the Christmas holiday train GWP, added that to my collection. And one thing I wanted to actually mention, if we look up the Bricked app, getbricked.com is a exclusive social platform for Lego creators, and I'm currently on it and I'm having a blast on it. We need to get more people involved to make it a bit more fun. There's a section, we can do a whole video on this, but there's a section for like discussions. It's basically like a Reddit but just for Lego, and instead of there having a subsection of Lego, the whole thing's Lego. So Greg Avola is the creator, and he's kind of running everything. He seems pretty cool. He's doing a great job with the app. And what you can do here is you can add all the sets you have in your collection. You can divvy them out with different types of collections, and it'll tell you how many pieces you have of built sets. And he's always asking for feedback and always asking for ways to improve it. And I just think if we can get more people on board, this can be such a fun platform. For socials. And so here's a great, you can look up prices of Lego sets at different retailers. There's individual chats, there's discussions. He's adding minifigure collections. You can add your own pictures. You can add build notes. So if you're building something cool and you want to share, you can add mocks. Like, you can do so much. But what I think is almost most fun about it is I love adding and organizing the sets that I currently have. Ones that are either sealed, that I've built, are used in my backlog. It's really, really cool. And you guys can go check out my Bricked profile and see all the sets that I think I have in my collection that are built, as well as my backlog. So that's just a little shout out to Bricked. Would love you guys to check it out. So before I talked about Bricked, I was talking about what I had built. So I built the train. I built okay. So for my mom's birthday in the last month or two, I gave her the poinsettia plant, and I told you I built that in my last podcast. And while I was building with her, I realized a few things. The first was that I don't love Lego instructions. I feel like I have found many mistakes, and every once in a while I find bigger errors. And for someone like my mom who doesn't look at these all that much, she got really confused. So this is a specific page that happened. So it showed you had this single brick, this 1x2 with this 1 by, I don't know what these are called, but like the snot brackets, followed by another 1x2, but she got really confused because she didn't notice this outside highlighted in blue. I see now in these instructions that the highlighted in blue are the new ones, but I will admit that on the hard copy, it was a lot harder to see this blue, and she was like, I missed a step. I went from adding this to adding this. So just kind of a comment out there. If you guys want to comment in the comment below, are there ever steps like this that you miss because you don't quite realize there are multiple pieces? I know it does get tricky when you're looking at like larger builds. They do the best they can, but should they outline it in something easier to see? Like, should it be a red? Should it be like super bold? Just kind of wondering your opinion. But then secondly, I think I mentioned that I was having trouble with building this when it came to building these. I thought you had to arrange these little flowers in the right way. So the reason that was the issue is while I was building with my mom, I paid more attention and realized there was a upside and a downside of these pieces, and I didn't realize that. If we zoom in, all we can see is a small like stud opening on top. We can't tell that that's a small or a big one. And when I inspected the piece, there's a small side on one and a big side on the other, just like a regular stud. So what was interesting is I was putting these on incorrectly, so they didn't snap on with each other. So there was actually a little extra space that I was taking up by putting this piece in upside down. So when it got to adding this part, And then adding the second one, I couldn't fit it on there. So I just went through and fixed that on mine, and it was amazing. When you go a little bit slower building the instructions, going through the instructions, it probably took about twice as long as it did for me because I'm just so familiar with Lego and the instructions and how things are built. You do mess up less. So another thing I built, was the 100 Years of Disney. So this has a little cute Mickey. I picked this up for like 20 something bucks, I think. It was just a random clearance at Walmart. And I said, you know what, that's kind of cute. We're building a whole Lego art wall. And I really wanted to like make some fun characters. So, Mickey Mouse is the only minifigure that comes in it, but he comes in with this cute little stand-up plaque, which you can put any of these pieces on, but I put the centerpiece on. I'm going to put it right in front of my Disney 100 camera when I build it. But I want to show you what I did. So I mentioned I wanted to make some of these. The first one I wanted to do was Iron Man. I struggled with the Iron Man because I wanted to make like his head, but I felt like I couldn't get the right details. So I went with a body, based it off of some of the others that are in there. So you can see here, I picked a Pluto, I picked Wally, I picked Olaf, Goofy, Stitch, and Pooh Bear. I thought these are just the cutest. I absolutely love Wally. I love Olaf. Pluto and Goofy are my favorite classic characters. My mom loves Pooh, so it's kind of that, and I thought Stitch is just cute. But then I wanted to make 3 others, as you can see here. So here's my Iron Man. It's okay, but if you look at him, you can tell he's an Iron Man, or at least I hope you can. Then I made a little Grogu. This one's kind of cute. This one silver piece I stole from one of the sets he was building. It was an extra piece, but I was like, this is perfect. It's the little like shift knob that he uses. I built him inside the little pram. I thought it was adorable. If you guys can guess before I announce who this is, I got some inspiration. There was the Up house inside the instructions, and I love dogs, so I thought it would be great to add a dog. Granted, I do have Pluto in here, but I added Doug from Up. I hope you can tell that's what he is, even before I even told you it, you guys. So let me know your thoughts on those custom builds. It is hard. They give you a lot of pieces to work with, but unfortunately, a lot of the colors that you want to use, like here, I was using yellow. I mean, like an orangey yellow. So I ran out of those colors to build him. So I went with like the lighter yellow. I still think it works, but it was really hard trying to find all the pieces, but it is awesome how many different characters and variations you can make. And you can see it hangs up at the top, and we're going to put that in our little art wall. So that was a really fun build. Super cute, very quick, very easy to make. The next one we made was the Milky Way. So we bought this, I think, day one. Picked it up in the store, but knew we wouldn't be able to build it in time. But we just built it. It's quite large. We'll say we made a little mistake. We accidentally these are all squares. I think it's 8 squares, maybe. It might be 8 squares, and one of them, this one, was rotated 90 degrees, so our Milky Way looked a little bit funky for a little bit, but it was okay. And I mean, I'm going to do a video probably on all of the weird and cool pieces in this Milky Way set, because there's just everything. There's minifigure helmets, there's flowers, there's these really cool transparent purple pieces, there's these sparkly discs, there's some frogs, there's some whisks, but one of the coolest parts is in the You Are Here, there's this little crown, and that actually glows in the dark, so we keep that like right at the top of the stairs. It charges up, and then when we go to bed, we turn off the light, and we can just see that You Are Here, and it looks amazing. And what's cool about the set is if you mess up a little bit, it's not going to make a big of a difference. So we're kind of adding some of our own pieces and scattering them in. But if you guys are unfamiliar, inside the instructions, it also tells you what some of the little things represent. Some of them I think are other like solar systems. There's like some satellite. I'm not really sure. I don't remember. I didn't actually build most of this one. My fiance built that one while I was doing some other things. But when he pointed that out, I thought that was an awesome detail, and I'll probably do a quick video on that. The other thing I built was the Jeep Wrangler. I've had this for a long time. I bought this before last Christmas. Jeep Wrangler is my dream car, so I definitely wanted this set. Apparently, it's got mixed reviews. I thought it would do much better. A lot of people would want it, but this is only the second Technic set I've built. The other one was not the Lamborghini, the Mustang, the green Mustang, and that was the first one I had built, and I made a few mistakes, but that was early on when I was getting into Lego. So now that I'm more familiar with the types of Technic pieces and how the instructions go, I think I made one mistake, and it was very minor. But what happened, I think, when I built the Mustang is I basically had to take apart the whole thing because these red like rods can come in short and long ones, and I used like a long one and I was supposed to use a short one, so by the time I got to the end I ran out of pieces. Oh, it was a disaster. But one of the things I will say is the tires on this thing are amazing. They were just so cool to put on because they just felt like perfect tires for the Jeep Wrangler. And it's got the tow in front, and it's got of course all the doors open, and you can front control the front wheels. There's a spring in the back, and the ability to like explore the terrain. So it's a really cool play set. Like this would be really cool to position for like outdoor photography and stuff. But it just went on my shelf with all my other Technics. The one thing I don't particularly like is it being yellow. I just don't feel like you see that many yellow Rubicons on the road. I feel like blue or red is a lot more common. So I think it would have been cooler to do that, but it is what it is. I just think it would have been more realistic. Anyway, moving on to the next. So what I also did is I built some old SpongeBob sets. So I bought some SpongeBob sets from some person, and when they shipped them extremely poorly. So everything came like they attempted to wrap it, but everything was loose. Nothing was secure. Things weren't even bagged. So even if it did break, I didn't know which pieces went to which. But they claim, the pictures, they all looked complete. It was just the shipping was extremely poor. So the three sets were Mrs. Puff's boating school. We had the Build-A-Bob, which is definitely one I wanted. It's just a giant SpongeBob. And then what's called the Rocket Ride. I feel like it should be called Sandy's Rocket, because a rocket ride to me seems more like an amusement park ride than it does an actual rocket. Anyway, so I have been looking for the Build-A-Bob for a long time. That's a pretty expensive set. I mean, when it's brand new, it's worth a lot. But even used, I found it hard to get like under 100 or so. And I was able to find, I thought they said it was supposed to come with Plankton, but I don't think the one they shipped me came with Plankton, which is a real bummer. But I guess he's not a real Plankton. He's just a Plankton sticker, which is what it is. And I pretty much got all of these for more or less the price of the Build-A-Bob. But the minifigures are all in here. So there's the unique Mrs. Puff, Patrick, and SpongeBob with the little antenna with Patrick telling him how to drive. Incredible. But what I did is for displayability, like this one comes with a whole mini like road track, and there's a wall he can crash through. I just built the school. I didn't build this front piece just for displayability. I thought it would just look better with the boating school. I of course built full Build-A-Bob. So Build-A-Bob comes with two different mouths. I did get both of them, but one of them, the smiling one, was very like dried out and like peeling, so I had to put the other one on just because it looked better, but I still have it, which is very cool. But what I didn't notice is if we look at the instructions, you can't really see, but kind of down here on the right you can see there's like a projectile. You can shoot jellyfish out of his mouth. I had no idea he had that playability. But what I also wanted to show you is I of course didn't have the instructions, so I had to use them online, and maybe it's easier when you have the physical product, but I found it extremely hard that when I got to these pages, you cannot see a single piece that was used here. I just had to guess, like, it's just all black. Other than what's in the middle, it's just all black. There's no distinguishing marks between any of these pieces. So that was definitely a big struggle. And for people that built, like for those of you listening that have built when this came out a long time ago or anything like this, let me know if they've always been that hard, because, instructions have gotten much better. Not only do they have pieces outlined, but as you can see, they also tell you what pieces you need in this step. Like, that would have been helpful if it told me you need 2 of these pieces, 2 of these, whatever. But I just had to make the shape the best that I could. And fortunately, I figured it out. But I will say it was kind of a problem. And then the rocket ride, I just built the rocket. It did come with all this extra stuff, but I find it's really hard to display the sets when it has all that. But I've got all the minifigures, and actually all those minifigures will be sold on Whatnot. So definitely check out my Whatnot. And you can look at the link below to get, I think, $15 off if it's your first, if you're new to Whatnot. So when it comes to Christmas and Lego, I didn't get any. I didn't expect to get any, but that's because I buy everything I want. But I did buy the ornithopter for my fiance from Dune. We watched Dune 2 and 1. Did we watch both? I think we watched both. And so that was cool. But yeah, it's too hard for people to buy Lego for me, because I, pretty much get everything I want and make sure things are at a really good price. All right. Let's talk about things that have gone on for my weekend selling. I should have something on the screen, but we're going to look at Sandy's ride while I quickly talk about it. So I started to finally add a bunch of minifigure parts to my Bricklink store. My Bricklink store primarily had minifigures, some parts and pieces, some sets, but I'm really starting to dive into all the extra minifig pieces I have that are in good condition, listed on my store. So definitely check those out, or if you're ever looking for some parts and pieces, I'd appreciate it if you look at my Bricklink store, link in the description below. But I think I also only sold one thing locally. I did a bundle for the train GWP, the record player GWP, and the Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader set from the Obi-Wan show. So I put those in a bundle. I sold them for like $110. It is what it is. I probably could get more if I waited longer, but I could use the cash. It was nice having someone that could meet up. I wanted to get rid of it. So I gave them a good deal on it. Of course, I don't have to pay fees on that or anything. So all of that is just straight profit. But I did have an awesome Whatnot stream as well right before the holidays. I did a CMF show where I listed many CMFs. I bought a ton for this massive show I had a while back, and still had a bunch left over, and people thought they missed out, so we ran it again. So that's what's going on. So we're going to next talk about next week in Lego. So next week in Lego, or this up and coming week in Lego, is January 1st release. So we're going to do a quick scroll through Jay's Brick blog here. And I'm going to tell you the things that I'm interested in and might be getting day one. I'm not a modular collector, so we're going to ignore that. Don't care for this. My fiance is really interested in this. I don't particularly like it, but if I get a good deal on it, maybe we'll get it. Nope. Oh, then there's all these F1s. Oh, botanicals. I definitely want this flower arrangement. Probably not a day one buy. It will go on sale, in my opinion. Oh, that's a February 1st. Oh, man. Okay. Oh, so I'm not a big Star Wars collector. The only one I really want is Grogu. That probably won't be a day one either. But I do have, so on Lego Insiders weekend, I think, or Black Friday, they had a really good deal on the the $5 off coupons. They, I think, were 75 points, or 75% of points off. That makes sense. So you're able to buy 3 of those, so I have $15 to use. But this is the only one on my radar that I am looking to purchase. City sets, there's nothing in particular I'm super interested in. No Friend sets, no Harry Potter. Marvel, I definitely want this. Everyone has said, and I agree, it's overpriced. But it does have a new Iron Man. And I do think I just want the build, so I think I will have to bite the bullet. This is a set that I haven't decided if it's going to be day one or I wait it out because everyone thinks it's overpriced. Just like the Hoopty, they just kept lowering the price because everyone thought it was overpriced. So the question is, I guess, let me know in the comments. Do you think I should buy it day one, or do you think I should wait because not enough people are going to buy it and they're going to decrease the price? Let me know. All right. So going back to Marvel, I do need the mech because I collect the mechs. I collect Iron Man mechs, and I don't think this is I can't remember actually if this is a new Iron Man, but it has Ultron. I don't really have any particular interest in this set. I thought the old one was much better. I'm not a big fan of the scenes they've been doing. I get the idea, but it's just not for me. And again, I have to look and find out which of all these minifigures for the Iron Man are exclusive because I do collect Iron Man minifigures. Ninjago, Dawn of Interest, Animal Crossing, these totally slipped my mind until I thought about them. Stargazing with Celeste might be a day one, some of these cheap ones might be a day one purchase, but at the same time, I want all 3 of these. There's no doubt. I want all 3 of these. I need the Sloth. I need Celeste. The Able sisters, fine, but I still need it. I still want to collect them all. But this seems a little steep for $40. I think this should be more like 30, 35. And considering we saw the other Animal Crossing go on sale so much, I'm thinking that these we might see some sales on. Maybe not Stargazing with Celeste because that's just so cheap already. And then the 3-in-1s. My goodness, they are just getting really good with their 3-in-1s. This dragon is incredible, and what you can do with it, the other builds, it's just amazing. I'm not typically these are cool, but they're really trying to draw me in with these. I need these pandas. I just need the pandas. And this little mini typewriter as opposed to the big one is just an awesome idea. And maybe you can switch out the parts to change the colors. I don't know how much I love the pink, but they're 3-in-1. They are just stepping up the game. So they're still going for New Year stuff. Those are actually really pretty. I haven't seen these before. I haven't looked at these before, but very cool. Sneaky cool. Very cool display pieces. This makes no sense to me. Monkey Kid, don't care for. Minecraft, don't care for. Mario Kart, don't care for. Sonic, don't care for. But they are making Lego Horizons, and that is in March, so it's not upcoming, but it's just a good topic. We just got the game for Christmas, so we'll be playing that. Then these already came out. Don't really care if it doesn't have Iron Man. I'm not really bad into it, but there is a new Animal Crossing polybag, and I definitely want that because it has a villager minifigure in it. I'm hoping maybe that's a GWP at some point. Fingers crossed. We'll see. It's pretty cheap, but whatever. We got another Ducati. We got all these speed champions, which are just crazy to me. They're F1, right? Yeah, I don't even know what that means, guys. Just don't at me. I don't know anything about F1. Then we got the minifigure series. People have been reporting that they've gotten them already multiple times. And then it's these weird little Formula One mini series cars with heads. I don't even know what to make of them. I heard someone refer to them as Happy Meal toys, and I think they're right. I think this is pretty much a Happy Meal toy. But yeah, they're gonna be $5 for those. It just doesn't seem right. The reason even CMFs don't really feel like $5, but it's they are entirely unique and they're printing. They have typically exclusive things inside of them. Where these I mean, I guess there's exclusive printing here. I don't know. And these helmets, I don't even know what size these helmets are. Like, none of this makes sense to me. Do I think they're kind of cool? Yes. But would I prefer them to be in a Happy Meal? Yes. And it should come with Ronald McDonald. Anyway, so that's where we're at. All right, and so we're going to end the podcast after talking about everything coming out. I've got some big decisions to make about January 1st, and if I'm going to buy anything, is we're currently building the Starry Night. I just picked this up for $100 locally, so very good deal. Oh, that's something I picked up. It had a huge hole in the box, so when I picked it up, I got a little nervous something was missing, but so far, so good. So our minifig feature is Vincent van Gogh. So if we look at Vincent van Gogh, actually why I had the picture open is when we look at him and his little accessories, what's funny is that it comes with the exact same accessories as Mickey here. We're building them at the same time and we're like, oh, look at Vincent van Gogh. And I was like, look at Mickey. They're matching. So I thought it was kind of fun to pick Vincent van Gogh. So of course he is completely exclusive. And when we look at him, I was amazed by the printing. I had no idea that his body and like his pants and the shirt had the same feel as the Starry Night. So of course all of these parts are completely exclusive to him, which is of course not the hair. Not the hair, but it does make you wonder, you know, is this going to be a desirable minifigure? Let's see if the head's exclusive. The head's exclusive as well, so everything but the hair is exclusive to him. He's a good-looking minifigure. He can be attached to the actual Vincent van Gogh. Another reason I picked him, though, is also thinking of the Da Vinci set, where there's going to be a Da Vinci minifigure. So what do you guys think of, I'll end this and on this note, what do you guys think of these minifigures that represent, real people? Because this one is awesome. Because Van Gogh not only looks like Van Gogh, but he has an exclusive head and his body with arm printing, I must say. Like it just captures the essence of the artwork that he did. But there are other characters or historical figures that have been made, such as Shackleton, I believe. So Shackleton's lifeboat that came as a GWP. I heard that the parts and pieces you can put together, and he's not really exclusive. Yeah, the dark blue jacket is in 3 minifigures. It's in a wizard from Harry Potter, Shackleton, and Pippin. Yeah, Pippin is what I know him as. So it's probably not. He's not like the cheapest, but he's not as expensive as the $100 set. I don't think the face is not fully exclusive. Comes in Gimli. So I think what's interesting is for some characters they choose to make very unique. Like Van Gogh, wherever I had him. Oh, he was on here. But then they have something like Shackleton, which is an incredibly exclusive set, but the figure itself can be put together with all the parts. So it's very interesting here. You see that one Shackleton is being sold for $40, but I'm telling you guys now, if you're interested in Shackleton, just the minifigure, you can buy all the individual pieces, I would imagine, for less than $40, even with shipping. So I'll just leave you at that. All right. Thank you guys for listening. I know we covered a lot. It's been a while since I posted my last video, but I'm hoping to keep it up, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And this is Brick Babble. I'm Brick Building Babe, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. See you later.